All right, what we got here? Senator Chris Van Hollen. Honestly, okay, I'll say this. I'm gonna be a little soy. Okay, we're being a little soy, just a little soy, just a little soy. Chris Van Hollen, he's climbing up there in terms of the ranks of pretty actively decent fucking senators. I guess I'd have to like look through the rest of his voting record to see like I don't know what dog shit Chris Van Hollen probably has supported or something. Has he even been in Congress that long? Has he been a senator for long? I'm curious. How long has Senator Chris Van Hollen been in office? Like, how long? 2017? Huh. Oh, crazy. He served as a U.S. representative for Maryland's 8th Congressional District from 2003 to 2017. Huh. Oh, so he's just been in public service for, I assume, probably most of his life, right? Want to see for the state legislator, serving 4 years. Oh, so basically, yeah, he's basically done the whole fucking thing. Yeah, for sure, AJ, totally. Pepe, totally no meme. Anywho, Chris Van Hollen, what's he known for? Going down to Secot, the prison slave labor camp out there in El Salvador. The Trump administration was like deporting a bunch of migrants. It wasn't just El Salvadoran migrants, but just migrants in general, for the express purpose of following through with the quid pro quo that the Trump administration had with Nayib Bukele, that fucking freak. Basically, that piece of shit Nayib Bukele, honestly, God, he's who really fucking sucks. Trump administration and him, they have like a quid pro quo saying like, oh, we're going to take in all your prisoners and you just give us money for it. And that's like literally it. Chris Van Hollen goes there, visits Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was one of the more sort of prominent senators who went down there to Secot to be like, well, this guy was one of my constituents. I'm going to go see him whether El Salvador wants me there or not. Like, I don't have the ability to get him out, which is just like, I mean, it's fine, whatever. But he really led the charge in being like, yeah, I'm going to go see him. I'm going to have active fucking political pressure and in trying to like get Kilmar Abrego Garcia home. And it worked. Kilmar Abrego Garcia did come back. And now he's talking with a former Green Beret about the starvation in Gaza. You know, the genocide that the Israelis are trying to actively pull. A U.S. Army veteran and a Green Beret who witnessed it firsthand recounted to me. What do we have here? I've been hearing things about this particular Green Beret because I think there's been an interview with him as well that's been making the rounds. But what's he got to say here?
Well, thank you for getting together, and let me start by thanking you for your service in the U.S. military. Maybe you can talk a little bit about your prior service. I also know you come from a military family.
I do, yes, sir. So I do come from a military family, and I ultimately made the decision to join the military. I attended the United States Military Academy at West Point. I was commissioned as an infantry officer. Upon my commission, I immediately deployed to combat Iraq the first time, Afghanistan, so in my 25-year career, I had 12 combat deployments to places all over the world, Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan, the like. And 2008.
Okay, listen, we're not going to talk about the combat deployments, Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan. Okay, listen, Iraq War, Electric Boogaloo, dog shit, obviously. Yeah, 12 deployments, that's a lot. That's a lot of fucking deployments. He's in infantry, dude, which means this motherfucker could have potentially seen some, like, frontline combat and shit like that. Probably got shot at or something. Standard shit like that. Yeah, you know how it is, right? Whatever. Iraq War 2, Electric Boogaloo, very bad. We've talked about that before because Bush lied, people died, kind of a meme. Blah, 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 blah.
I decided that I wanted to try out and join Special Forces because I went to selection at Fort Bragg and I became a Green Beret. So the remaining of my career, I was a U.S. Army Green Beret. And
so you've seen a lot of combat.
Seen a lot of combat, sir.
And you mentioned a couple places, Afghanistan, where else?
Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria, Tajikistan. I was also deployed to Operation Enduring Freedom in Southeast Asia and the Philippines and fighting the Moral Islamic Liberation Front. So I was in the Philippines, also Thailand, Malaysia, Cambodia, and then other Central Asian countries, small stint in Kazakhstan.
And then you signed up for this effort that they were saying was going to help feed people in Gaza. What made you decide you wanted to try to do that?
Well, sir, I had been familiar with the situation in Gaza. I had never been deployed to Israel or anything in nature that was involved in it, but reading the news and keeping up with what's going on. And the motto of Special Forces is De Oppresso Liber, to free the oppressed. So that motto isn't something that I just took to the side when I got out of the army. It's something that I live by. And so I felt that people that are starving, that need
based. Well, I mean, like, I based. Not cringe, not cringe army guy. Crazy.
Food, they're hungry, they're dying. That sounds like oppression to me, and I wanted to be a part of it.
Yeah. And so you became engaged in that, and
Crazy.
based on what you saw, you decided to come forward and speak out. So why are you speaking out now?
So on the 14th of June, I terminated my contract. I made my reasons explicitly clear. I'm coming out now because I feel that it's important that the American people know from a trusted and reliable source, from someone that was there. I spent days on every site of the secure distribution sites in Gaza. They're run by the GHF, all 4 sites. I spent.
So okay, that's what I was curious about. So he explicitly went to the GHF sites. Fascinating. Okay, cool. Because listen, we're pulling the meme. We're doing the meme. We're doing the fucking meme. Okay. GHF contractors shooting at Palestinians. Yeah, that's what's going on with specifically U.S. contractors that are with the Gaza Humanitarian Fund, which basically the UN and every other fucking aid organization is saying, like, these guys are dog shit. They are a honeypot. The point of what Israel... Because, again, ask yourself this question, okay? This is the easiest question of life, okay? Why on earth, despite conducting a starvation siege campaign, because that's what Israel is doing, right? That's not hyperbole. That's not me being, like, facetious little lefty, like, ooh-doo-doo-doo-doo, look at me, doing a little bit of trolling, little lefty over here. That's not hyperbole or anything. They are quite literally sieging the Gaza Strip with the express purpose of starving out the population and just killing all of them. That's why they're doing it. Because, again, like, oh man, dude, we're gonna keep going after Hamas in the rubble of Gaza, and the rubble of the rubble of the rubble of the rubble of the rubble. It's just like, yeah, bro, that's totally what you want to do, is just keep bombing the fuck out of them. Even though, like, more than likely, in terms of, like, a military capacity, like, Hamas is just, like, completely gone. It's fucking ridiculous and stupid. And we got fucking U.S. bumblefuck dumb idiot contracts being like, yeah, Cletus, I think you hit one. Yeah, with the little gun. And they're like, yeah. Fucking freaks. And I want you to ask yourself this a question again, you know? Like, why would the Israelis set up those fucking aid sites? Oh, because they want to concentrate the Palestinians in a particular location so they can kill them all more easily. Hell yeah, boy. Again, keep in mind, these are people who are all starving. They are emaciated. They are walking skeletons. And they're just, like, saying, like, yeah, we're just gonna, like, pepper spray them, shoot them, use stun grenades. And it's not just those contractors that were doing it. It was also the IDF. I assume Mr. Green Beret Man, I don't remember his name. I'm really bad with names. I don't even think he disclosed his name. I don't think he ever disclosed his name because he's a special forces guy. Yeah, he's probably not going to disclose his name. Honestly, probably correct. I don't think he should disclose his name either. That he's probably going to get into, because from what I understand from some of the testimony from, like, other interviews he's done, the Israelis have shot mortar rounds into crowds of people, tank rounds from Merkava tanks, that's the main battle tank that the Israelis have, and have been shooting the fuck out of them with various stun grenades, pepper spray, and all this fucking bullshit. And not to mention with their guns. Whoa, fantastic, excellent.
Days on end at all 4 of those sites. I spent days on end in an armored vehicle doing the delivery of aid. And the American people need to know what the United States is involved in Gaza. We're not bystanders. We are a part of it. U.S. tax dollars are going towards this effort. Americans are on the ground, armed, in Gaza, engaging with Palestinians and involved in things that America needs to know about.
What specifically do people need to know is happening right now as a result of the GHF operation?
The American people need to be aware that the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation method of aid distribution was designed, by design, is inherently dangerous. It lures Palestinians into active war zones throughout Gaza to get food that they need. Under the
Hey, that's what I've been saying. That's a honeypot. Huh. Great minds think alike.
UN method, there were 400 sites. Now there's only 4. All 4 of those sites are co-located with Israeli positions in active combat zones. That's not humanitarian. By design, it is inherently dangerous. By execution, it is failing. It failed to launch. It hasn't achieved success. It is not achieving success now. It has failed, it is failing, and it will not succeed because it's not run by people that know anything about humanitarian assistance, humanitarian aid, or this type of work. It would be if someone asked me to do brain surgery. I'm educated, but I can't do that.
In-fucking-credible. So, again, Everyone who's been constantly saying that this shit's a fucking honeypot, it's a honeypot, this is a honeypot, this is incredibly fucking illegal for the Israelis to do, they all ended up being correct. When I literally started reading about this GHF fucking bullshit, I'm just like, this is a honeypot. Because think about it for literally 3 fucking seconds, okay? Why the fuck, after spending all of this time, about 11 weeks in a siege against the Palestinians in fucking Gaza, they've been sieging them for about 3 months, why would they just start randomly letting in aid? Because the Israelis are not doing this for altruistic reasons. Hardly that's the case. They're doing this because, like I said before, they're trying to congregate the Palestinians in locations where it'll be easier to take them out. Through whatever conventional means or weapons that they feel like doing it.
Absolutely, and we've seen and heard about these stories of very hungry, starving Palestinians having to crowd around toward these 4 centers to get food.
Yes, sir.
And in the process have been subject to fire, being shot by IDF soldiers and others. Have you witnessed any of that?
I have witnessed it on all 4 locations with my own eyes. I have not.
That's pretty fucking concise and decisive. Hey, Zionists! Oh, you have some explaining to do. What's going on here? Wow, what happened? Buddy over here is saying fucking... Like, oh, yeah, I've witnessed the IDF just shoot the fuck out of emaciated Palestinians because they're starving. They're going to aid centers in order to get food because they are hungry, because they have been put in there starving for the past 3 months.
Not only bear witness to it, touched it, felt it, heard it, there on the ground, right in front of me. I also captured a lot of it on video and on photos. And the proof is
I wonder if he's going to release that.
The proof is not videos and pictures alone. The proof is also witness, which is me. And I know what I saw. I'm a man of integrity. I've served my country and I've proven that, and I can be trusted. So what I saw on numerous occasions are the Israeli Defense Forces firing into the crowds of Palestinians, firing over their head, firing at their feet, firing into the crowd. Not just with rifles or machine guns, but tanks, tank rounds, artillery, mortars, missiles. Not because they were combatants or because they were hostile or because they were Hamas, but simply as a means to control the crowd. Why I say that the process under GHF is inherently...
Guys, I've heard that using tank rounds and mortars are very, very good forms of crowd control. Allegedly, you listen, you just shoot it. If a little shrapnel gets kicked up and kills a couple guys by accident, whatever, who cares? It's good at crowding, corralling the crowd, Dude, this stuff was always just a fucking goddamn honeypot. It's crazy.
Dangerous is because those crowds are the size that the crowds are because of the process of the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation and how we're delivering aid. There's only 4 sites.
Yeah. Compared to 400.
Mm-hmm. More importantly is that no one in Gaza City, and Jabalia, where right now I think it is, everybody can agree is the most vulnerable population going into starvation and famine. There are no distribution sites from GHF north of the Netzarene corridor at all. They're all south of the Netzarene corridor. No one from Gaza City or north of the Netzarene corridor can go south of the Netzarene corridor. So the entire vulnerable population that the world has pulled the alarm on, that is in the time of crisis and on the verge of famine, can't get to any of the aid. Can't even get to it. And we're not taking it to them. So in order to reach each of these sites, throughout all of the rest of Gaza, central to south Gaza, there are only 4 sites, and 3 of them are all the way in the south, located right in the middle of the IDF's Operation Gideon's Chariots, which is an offensive operation. Not security, not defense, but an offensive war that these civilians have to walk through, and they get shot at. They get shot at by the IDF, and unfortunately, they get shot at by American contractors on the ground.
Well, that's pretty fucking decisive. We saw the video of American contractors shooting at them, and also the IDF. We know what they're all about. We don't need to find videos of them just constantly shooting fucking Palestinians because obviously they've done that. And also they try to make it as hard as possible to fucking document this stuff for one simple reason, right? They know what they're doing is actively against the Geneva Convention and international law. Israel, broadly speaking, understands that they are already a pariah state on the world stage. Nobody likes them. Everybody fucking hates them. If this footage were to get out, that's going to make them look 10 times fucking worse. Which is why I really would like it if the pictures that this Green Beret individual here has, if he would do the kind justice of releasing them to the public. Because I feel like it is probably... I'm trying to think of what the proper term is here. It would probably be in the solemn duty of the Americans to understand just what exactly Israel is up to in terms of the what they're doing with these fucking honeypot traps, because that's what GHF was and these aid location sites were supposed to do. It's just fucking honeypots. Israel and the complicity of the world makes me lose faith in humanity, but that is what they want to happen. For people to lose empathy, all we can do is talk, but not amongst ourselves. Like I've said before, Israel is in pretty much the position where they're basically cooked, right? Netanyahu, the only reason why he's doing any of this stuff, besides the fact that he's a fucking racist, is also because there's corruption charges that are swirling around him. And Netanyahu, specifically in of himself, wants to do everything possible to maintain the war cabinet for as long as possible, so then he doesn't go to jail. Bro almost started World War III in order to not go to jail. It's crazy. The whole reason why he wanted to do the Iran war so badly is because it should be fairly obvious. There was a failure of a vote. There was a vote that was about to fail in the Knesset. Netanyahu was very unpopular. If that vote were to fail, it should be fairly obvious and simple what would have happened. An election would have been triggered. He would more than likely lose, and then he'd have to go to court, where he'd more than likely be found guilty for corruption charges. And then, over. His dumbass is spending the rest of his life in jail.
And you've witnessed this directly.
I have witnessed it. I would one of the photos that I took, sir, was this photo here. This young boy, his name is Amir. I know that because he and I talked. I took this photo. This is on. This hurts. I get a little emotional with this because this is on Secure Distribution Site 1 on the 27th of May, the second day we had done distribution. At this point, the second in charge of the entire contract resigned in protest based on how distribution went on the 26th of May on day 1. He notified the leadership. He said, I can't be a part of this anymore. We continued.
That's wild.
This young man on this site, as you can see, he doesn't have a box. He's carrying things that he found on the ground. Because on the sites, it became a free-for-all. It became a survival of the fittest. The Gaza Olympics. Hunger Games. Dystopian to the 10th degree. It's horrible. There was no box for this young man, so he picked up some things that he found on the ground, and he was so thankful for even that. And he walked up to me, and he extended his hand, and I beckoned for him to come forward. And he grabbed my hand, and he kissed my hand, and he said, Shukran, Shukran. And he was sincere. He was crying. He walked.
This is just fucking crazy, bro. Wild, dude. And that's, like, sincere, dude. Like, that kid is just like, oh my god, finally, I'm getting some aid, some fucking help. Finally, some hope is being expressed in that fucking kid for once in his fucking life. The generational trauma that this is fucking causing for the Palestinians, and not just the generational trauma, but even like genetic trauma. Like, they've been starved to the extent that their bodies are starting to eat themselves, and it's going to cause problems for the Palestinians to be able to, well, have children, for fuck's sake. It is that bad, and there has been a lot of fucking reporting going into that. It is just crazy, the sort of fucking extent with how fucking bad it is. Like, on the ground in Gaza. It's crazy. Oh yeah, also descendants of populations that have been starved have a higher rate of diabetes. Oh, 1000%, Alex. Like, the knockdown on effects on, like, that are going to sort of be like as a byproduct, as a consequence for the actions of the Israelis is, there's no way to describe it. Like, I can't find the words. It's just wretched. Like, Benjamin Netanyahu and the state of Israel are just evil. They are evil, evil, evil.
Walked 8 kilometers to get there. No shoes.
Yep.
Probably hasn't eaten in days.
8
So
kilometers,
it says that the people of Gaza
bro.
are not starving. I beg to differ. I've seen different. This young man, then he held my hand and he kissed it, and I kneeled down to look at him in the face so I can let him know that, people care. You're not alone. People care. And he set down his bags and he put his hands on my face and he kissed me. And he looked at me and he said, Shukran. And I was like, you're welcome. And he says, thank you. And he picked up his bags and he went back to join this group. And this was the last remaining group of people on the site that were picking up remnants of aid. And he left through the exit of site number 1. The exit of site number 1 goes north to the Marag corridor, which is a combat area, a fighting area.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
The IDF opened up with machine gun fire into the crowd to get them to leave faster, to get them to hurry. Shooting at their feet, shooting over their heads, shooting into the berm. There's video of this. It's been verified. That's the first time I'd experienced such use of force against, so I didn't know what was going on because he had walked through the berm. And
They just shoot at them with fucking guns to make them go faster. Are you fucking for real? They're just demons. They're like, what else am I supposed to call these people besides fucking demons? They're just demons. They're animals. Like, this is not human fucking behavior that's on display here. This is not what is expected from the most moral army in the Middle East. Yeah, bruh. It's just like, dog, you people are fucking psychos, dude. Like, there's no other way to fucking call the IDF besides, like, a just complete dog shit, rank, psychotic, awful fucking goddamn organization. If you can even call it that, for fuck's sake.
I heard the shooting, so I ran up to the berm to look, and there were dead Palestinians. He was one of them.
Oh my God.
So
He fucking got killed in the fucking gunfire. Are you fucking for real, dude? Seriously. He was one of the kids who got killed. Fucking insane. Fucking IDF. Like, listen. Okay. Oh man, dude. I'm gonna have my own fucking 416 moment. Like Vosh did, okay? 416. If you know, you know.
You just kissed you.
who said thank you? Who wasn't a threat? The people that we promised that we're going to bring food to, that we're going to feed. Not only are we not feeding them adequately, we're not providing enough. Right now, the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation has achieved 82 million meals delivered into Gaza. They've been doing that over as of today, 60 days of distribution. So at the rate of what the UN was doing, they're operating at a performance rate of 3%. 3%
compared to what was
not 3% below,
delivered to the
3%, period. If the amount of aid that the UN was delivering 500 to 600 trucks a day, let's just say 500 trucks a day is the mark, UG Solutions, SRS, GHF are delivering 18 trucks a day on average.
Bro, that's insane, bro. Again, I've said this before. The ethnic cleansing and the genocide is the point. That's the only reason why fucking Israel is even deciding to fucking let this stuff in. Again, GHF is just a fucking front. That is the purpose of them. To make it look like oh, yeah, guys, we're totally letting in a bunch of aid for the Palestinians. I don't think I have to keep reiterating, but the IDF are just like complete fucking freaks. Oh, I don't think that's like ridiculous to fucking say at this point, Boy Meets Mini. Like GHF is now just like its express purpose is now just for a concentration camp. Like it's a honeypot. That's not hyperbolic or ridiculous to say. Always has been. Easiest fucking call of life. Because again, you have to ask yourself this question. Why would they just randomly allow for these fucking 8 site locations to start going up? Randomly. And in fucking combat zones. Oh, because they just want to concentrate the fucking Palestinians in an area. That's why. It is the easiest of all calls of life to just make. Fucking psychotic, dude.
We're starving people at just 4 sites. At just 4 sites. And in order to get to it, the people getting to it have to endure gunfire, have to endure an 8 to 12 kilometer walk one way to get there. And then after they receive aid from the site, they can't go back home. Because once you're west of the Magan-Oz corridor or north of the Marag corridor between the coastal corridor, you can't leave. So all of these people, if you're in Khan Yunis and you head south to get aid, because site number 4 is not open that day, which is common, they're not all open. So on any given day, there's only 1 or 2 open. So if they can't get aid at site 4 and they want to go down south to get site 1, they then are stuck down there. They're displaced. They can't go home. They go to the Nasser camp or they go to the Mawasi refugee camp. Yeah. They can't go home. So the United States, not just UG Solutions, not just Safe Reach Solutions, not just the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, the United States of America is complicit in setting mousetraps with cheese of the food is the bait to bring them down and then displace them from the north.
So this is, in your view, a big part of the displacement strategy that's going on right now.
It is the displacement strategy, yeah. It is how it's being done. Now,
Oh yeah, from what I understand, yeah, this is the exact same shit the Sri Lankans did with the Tamils, right? Exact same fucking stuff. All the honeypot traps with egg locations, promising food to the Tamils for the express purpose of fucking dislocation. Yeah, exactly. Bomb the shit out of Elam and turn the UN aid camps into traps. Yep, this is the exact same stuff, except now it's instead of the UN, it's the United States that's the main people that are participating in this. It's full-on fucking complicity. What do you think is the likelihood that Trump knows about this? And Trump gave the Israelis the go-ahead to do this? Who wants to make a bet? I'm willing to take that bet.
Did GHF or SRS or UG Solutions sign up to do that? I don't believe so. But even after the first day of being there, you don't have to be Clausewitz to figure out that if we're supposed to be distributing humanitarian aid, why aren't we building aid sites where the need is? If everybody's north, why are we building sites in the south?
That's a pretty good question there, Mr. Green Beret, man. Oh, because the point is the genocide, right? Like, again, like, I'm going to keep reiterating that fucking point over and over and over again, because it stands to be constantly fucking goddamn reiterated. Benjamin Netanyahu just wants to exterminate these people. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not going to pussyfoot around. He just wants to kill all the fucking Palestinians. Because he has, like, this, I don't know, schizo conspiracy theory in his fucking brain where he thinks that Hitler got the idea to do the fucking Holocaust from when he visited the Palestinian Grand Mufti. That is Holocaust fucking revisionism. No, Hitler always intended to want to fucking commit ethnic cleansing to the fucking goddamn Jewish populations of Europe. He always wanted to fucking do it. Him getting the idea to do that shit from the fucking Palestinian Grand Mufti, when in reality the fucking actual architect of the Holocaust was God, I'm really bad with names. It's Eichmann, something Eichmann. I'm really really bad with names. Something Eichmann as a result of the Soviets pushing in from the east, and well, they decided to sort of decided to crank up the dial in terms of the extermination camps because they didn't want the fucking Soviets to find out what they were doing with the fucking Jewish populations. Oh, 1000% Boy Meets Mini. He did get all those ideas from fucking Jim Crow. Absolutely. A lot of these sort of like idea of a lot of these sort of like exclusionary policies that the Nazis used was heavily inspired from America, quite literally from Jim Crow, because the Nazis were just like, somehow the United States have impressively made marginalized groups marginalized through law. That's incredible. We want to do the exact same thing. Oh, it's fantastic. And guess what? That's what the fucking Nazis did after they passed the Enabling Act of 1933 and started to solidify all political control under themselves.
How did they get here? Oh, they walk. Oh, so they displace from where they live to come here to get food. And do they get to go back? No. So we're displacing people. That's just a fact. And we are part of it. The United States government, through its $30 million to the State Department, to GHF, the American taxpayer, Americans that are on the ground with guns, we are complicit in the displacement of a population of people. Innocent, starving people who we say, we're here to feed you. Come and get some food. And we use it as bait. And most of them don't survive.
Yeah, it's been horrible reading about what's happening. I see you have some other things here, a video. Is there anything else you want to?
Just a couple things here I want to show you. But so this young boy, I talked to him. So this is your typical Palestinian when they reach the site, how thankful they are. They're not a threat. This gentleman here gave me the peace sign, and then he kissed at me and he said thank you. This young boy right here, as I told you, this young boy on site number 2, this young boy is picking up noodles with his bare hands because there were no boxes of aid. So with his right hand, he's picking up noodles that he's then shifting out to put in his backpack because that's all he got.
Well, I'm really curious. Can I find like better renditions of these photos? I really want to see them. Green Beret photos. Not of the GHF. Designed for Death Traps, former Green Beret who worked with that. Oh, he did an interview with Democracy Now! As well. Oh, that's based. Based? I just want to see... Oh, his name is Anthony Aguilar. Oh, there we go. That's his name. Anthony Aguilar. I just want to see the photos. I really, really want to fucking see the photos. Anthony Aguilar photos, GHF. Here. Here we go. Hey, Israel, what's this? There's a fucking 5-year-old, bro, he walked 12 kilometers in order to get some fucking food. Was super fucking thankful for it. Kissed this fucking man, Anthony, and thanked him for the fucking food. Fucking get shot by the Israelis. Monsters. These people are not fucking human, dude.
His face is red and flushed because he got pepper sprayed in the face by a UG contractor.
You witnessed that?
Witnessed it. Saw it. So I took the picture. Yeah. This young girl, happy to be there. Some of us, with our own money, purchased cookies for the kids because the boxes just have rice, flour, fava beans, nothing that you can actually eat until you cook it. Yeah. So we bought cookies for the kids. This girl has a bunch of cookies. These packages are a pack of packages, and she took the whole thing from me, and I was like, okay. She took it and then opened it and was handing it out to other children. These are the Palestinians. These are the people of Gaza. This isn't Hamas. This isn't a bad guy. This could be my daughter. Yeah. These aren't the criminals. Yeah. This man here picking up a bag of flour. I took this photo. He's thanking me. Not a threat. This young girl here. This is at site number 4, distribution site 4. Yeah. This is who we're starving. These people. Her. Yeah. That could be my neighbor. Yeah. This young boy right here, I mean, he even looks like my son. This could be my son. Thankful, happy. And this young boy didn't get any aid because by the time he got there, everything was gone. He was happy just for the fact, the idea that we were there to help. This is who we're starving. This is who's dying. This young boy, this is on site number 1 early in the morning.
Oh, sorry, AJ, I don't respect French, okay? I don't respect that language, okay?
Happy to be there. He got one box. Him and his family got a box. Just happy. Never, at any time on all 4 distribution sites, at distributions through morning, afternoon, night, throughout the night, during the day, did I ever witness a threat, hostility, even anything close to hostility, ever, in the whole group. Yeah. Another picture of a young boy just thankful.
So absolutely no reason for anybody to be shooting at them.
No reason. This woman here, this is site 1. She was hit in the head with a piece of shrapnel from a...
I don't know, Chris. Allegedly, if you listen to, I don't know, a bunch of schizophrenic freaks online, they'd make the argument that they're all secretly Hamas. You don't know if they're concealing potential grenades or something, or like C4 packets under their shirts in order to kill American service workers. These fucking like stupid Zionist freaks who make that kind of fucking argument because, you know, these people are fucking freaks. They are complete charlatans. They are psychopaths.
Stun grenade that was thrown by a UG Solutions contractor. It hit her in the head and knocked her unconscious. Before she left that site, I was hit with it also.
You were hit?
With a piece of the stun grenade. I got stitches in my arm from it. I was wounded from it. And this
Bro got wounded.
the gentleman that helped me up
crazy.
off the ground was a Palestinian man. The man that's here covering his face because the stun grenades have tear gas in them. So when they explode, not only do they fire these pellets, they also expense tear gas. And
That's true,
the
boy,
gentleman helped me up, and then he went here to help the woman in black, help the woman in red onto the cart. I went up to thank him. I said thank you, and I placed my hand on her, motionless, lifeless. Unfortunately, throughout my life in my military.
Oh yeah, and let's not even talk about just how deadly this sort of conflict, quote unquote, has been. Super deadly for the press, and not only like again, we'll do the meme. We're gonna do the meme. Israel killing, attacking known aid worker locations. Again, World Central Kitchen, one of the most prominent examples. They were going along a path in Deir al-Balah in Gaza that was pre-approved by the Israelis, and they still got their convoy attacked by drones from the IDF. These people, they're monsters. They are not fucking human. They are monsters, the people in the fucking IDF. They are freaks, charlatans, just like, I don't know like how else to describe them. Psychopaths. They just want to fucking kill people and make people suffer. What else can we say? Israel killing aid workers. This is from the UN. This didn't happen all that long ago. This is a mass fucking grave that the Israelis had to fucking dig for, I think, about 15 humanitarian aid workers. Let's not even talk about Israel killing journalists. They have killed so many fucking journalists. Not to mention the most prominent one being Shireen Abu Akleh. This was in May 2022, of course. Palestinian-American journalist. She got fucking killed. And I even think that during the funeral, I believe that the IDF fucking raided the fucking funeral procession as well. These people are monsters. Monsters. There's like no other fucking way to put it. They killed 176 fucking Palestinian journalists. And 2 of them are also Israeli out of the 178 fucking journalists who've been fucking killed. Crazy, bro. They want to do everything possible to fucking cover up the genocide that they're doing, because this is what this is. This is ethnic cleansing. Like, no cap, no fucking hyperbole, and the U.S. is fucking complicit in this.
Korean War, I have touched and been next to a lot of dead people. Yeah. I would raise my right hand in the court of law and attest to the fact that she was dead. Not from the IDF, not from starvation, not from trampling because Hamas incited a stampede. We killed her. That's not the American way. This man here, this was on site number 1. Again, early in the morning. He was on the ground picking up noodles. A UG contractor yelled at him and said, "Get out of here." He doesn't speak English. We don't speak Arabic. We only had 1 translator per site for thousands of people. So that's how we spent money. We spent money on a lot of guns and 1 translator. This man was then sprayed in the face with pepper spray.
Yeah, I feel like you probably want translators. You know, you probably want a bunch of those guys, Arabic translators, for the thousands of people that are coming in to get aid. Seems like it would make sense. Nah. Nah, get more guns, because all of them are hummus. All of them are hummus. You know, and they just want to kill people or something. That's what they want to do, guys, constantly. Yeah.
And he was immobilized. This young man, this worker here, is a local Palestinian worker who was dumping water in his face. And that wasn't done by the IDF. That wasn't done by Hamas. That was done by an American contractor who is there in a very complex and complicated environment trying to do the best he or she can with no rules of engagement, no standard operating procedures, no escalation of force procedures. None of this has been provided. And all of us, sir, are in Gaza. We are in Israel on a tourist visa. We are in the country of Israel,
Fucking
and doing this, and doing this, and doing this.
Yeah, because normally I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Boy Meets Mini, or any of the Americans in chat, I believe the visas necessary for armed service members are completely fucking different, and there's like a lot more sort of hoops to go under. Like, right? I believe. I wonder how many of these contractors actually are bloodthirsty. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, right? Yeah, because it's way easier to get fucking tourist visas in comparison to getting like military fucking visas, right? Because like I'm thinking about this in terms of like, say, NATO or some shit. I got a buddy who's in NATO, right? And there's like a whole fucking process of him like having to like go in. I think he's like a part of a tank crew, right? He's been like right on the border in the fucking Baltics, and he's got some like crazy fucking stories about how he's seen like Russians on the other side of the border, and they were just like, "What's up?" And then they just like turn and leave. It's just like, that's not fucking weird and sketchy at all whatsoever. It's like, oh fuck, dude, that's wild.
And we are there on a tourist visa. If my grandmother wanted to go visit Jerusalem, she would go into Israel in the same way that I did as a contractor with a gun.
So
crazy.
Who is like giving the orders for all the GHF operations?
Great question, sir. I was told very explicitly, directly to my face, that our client is the IDF.
Your client is the idea.
Our client is the IDF. And this came out.
Well, there it fucking is. That's clear as fucking day. It was always intended as a way to continue with the fucking genocide. Always. The honeypot, the fucking the mousetrap, all that fucking bullshit. It was always fucking intended as another step within the fucking genocide. And because this time, listen, the Israelis know, okay? It's the same fucking thing that happened with the fucking Holocaust, for fuck's sake. They started killing a lot more people in the fucking Holocaust, turning on the fucking gas chambers when the Soviets were fucking starting to come in and, well, were pushing back the Nazis on the fucking Eastern Front. Same fucking shit is happening here. Listen, funny thing about history, doesn't tend to repeat very often, but it likes to rhyme. They're turning up the heat in Israel, in Gaza specifically, because the Israelis know they don't have a lot of fucking time left, so they're just going to be like, all right, well, let's just start fucking killing people. Monsters, these people.
I had a discussion once where I was in the control room. I was on control room duty that day. We had shifted responsibilities on a rotational base. So I was in there that day with the radio observing site number 2 distribution. A Palestinian man had picked up some children to let them step on his shoulders to get onto a berm because they were being crushed in the crowd. Site 2 is very small, smallest of all 4 sites. And these children are being crushed, and he picked them up there and put them up on the berm. And the Israeli Defense Forces liaison officer in the main control center with us comes up to the screen that I'm watching. He says, "Tell your men to get them down." I was like, "We got this under control." I was like, "I know they know what they're doing. No, they're children. Let's calm down.
Mm-hmm.
Get them down now, or I will." Well, there's no IDF on the site, so I didn't take it as much more than just being bombastic and okay, hey, we got this. He leaves and goes to his desk in the operations center and he gets on the radio and he speaks something on the radio. It was in Hebrew. I don't speak Hebrew. One of the contractors that was there was American that did speak Hebrew, and he notifies me. He said, "Hey, he just told the snipers at the IDF position because the site number 2 is co-located with an Israeli base.
Mm-hmm.
So he just told the snipers to take these kids out." I was like, "On the radio?"
What the fuck? Listen, we need to get the fucking snipers to pop the kids in the fucking head. That's fucking insane. They're just trying to stop the kids from getting crushed. Are you insane? Well, actually, listen, as we all know, IDF snipers love doming kids in the head with fucking 50 caliber fucking sniper rounds. That's one of the favorite things that they love doing. Fucking insane, bro.
Yeah. He's like, "Yeah." This lieutenant colonel then comes back up and he says, "Get them down." And I look at him and I say, "Did you just call on the radio and tell your men to shoot them?" And he said, "I'm going to take care of this if you don't." I said, "You are not going to shoot. You are not going to shoot children. You're also not going to shoot because if your men miss, you're going to hit others. You're not going to shoot." Thank God we didn't come to the conclusion of figuring out whether he would or not, because the children jumped down and ran off of the site. They didn't want to be there. They were unarmed. They didn't have shoes. One wasn't even wearing a shirt. They were starving. The chief operations officer for Safe Reach Solutions, our higher headquarters, so to speak, in the contract, beckoned me outside with him and he looked at me in the face and he said, "Never say no to the client." And I asked him, I was like, "I didn't know the client was in there. Who's here? Did Johnny Moore come to visit?" Right. And he said, "No, the IDF." I was like, "The IDF are our client?"
Holy fucking shit, bro. What the fuck? Never say no to the fucking client. Bro was stopping them from fucking shooting kids with sniper rifles. Are you insane? You can't say no to them. You have to let them shoot with the sniper rifles. Like, bro, are you fucking for real, bro? What the fuck, man? Oh my god, this is insane. This is insane, dude.
He said, "Yes, we work for them." A light bulb went off in my head because up until that point, every day at 11 o'clock, we'd have an operations meeting where the IDF, not KOGAT, not the UN, not GHF, the IDF would give us very clear and explicit instructions. This is the site you will deliver to. This is how much aid you will deliver. This is how you will deliver it. This is the time you will deliver it. This is how many trucks will go in. They gave us explicit, and we took our marching orders from them. Up until that point, I just thought maybe that was just a process. But then I realized that, according to Safe Reach Solutions, the prime contract, we work for the IDF. Inherently, a combatant, a belligerent in a war. Is Israel at war with Hamas? Absolutely. Are they combatants? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Humanitarian aid should not be distributed through a humanitarian assistance mechanism that is controlled by a combatant in a war. It is inherently inhumane. It is inherently un-American. And if Americans knew that, I don't think they'd put up with it.
Oh my fucking lord. This is listen, if there are fucking, Nuremberg trials, quite literally, if they fucking happen, this video will be his interviews that he's been conducting, because he's been this man Anthony has been making the goddamn fucking rounds, talking to literally everybody that he can get his hands on to spread the fucking message. But probably on every fucking independent show, he's talking with a U.S. senator, for fuck's sake, a person with a lot of fucking power. Democracy Now! Anyone this man can fucking talk to, he's gonna fucking talk with them, because what's going on there is insanity, dude. Jesus, bro. And listen, I saw a recent video by Jacob Geller talking about Nuremberg, right? And it's just rank failures because we know that Nuremberg ended up being a fucking failure. The sort of like, and I found like what Jacob Geller said about Nuremberg to be incredibly fucking interesting, talking about like the whole failures of it and how like a lot of people came out of Nuremberg thinking that the Nazis were fucking treated unfairly during that fucking trial. And if you want to do the very hyper technical sort of like legalese sort of argument there, it's in terms of like a trial of peers, it was technically, yes, an unfair fucking trial. And it sort of like inherently kneecapped the Nuremberg trials from the beginning because, again, a lot of the structures for the crimes that the Nazis did were just not in fucking place before because no one ever really thought about those crimes before. It's like, what is a crime against humanity? Well, we just fucking have to make that up because, like, how else do you describe what the Nazis did? Like, besides, like, crimes against peace, humanity, and, like, all this other fucking shit. All of those fucking terms were coined because of Nuremberg, and as a result, the sort of, like, basis of the trial of Nuremberg, because, again, what did the Nazis do the whole time with all the fucking loopholes they were given? Because they were given a lot of sort of... Because they had to do with the guise of trying to make this look like a fair trial for some fucking reason, when they should have done the exact opposite. It should have just been a completely unfair trial for the fucking Nazis. But, you know, I digress. Whatever. A lot of the main Nazi leadership also killing themselves with cyanide capsules and bullets to the fucking brains also made the sort of like testimonies within Nuremberg not as sort of like effective, and it had to go after for I mean there was like some high ranking like Nazi sort of officials who testified in fucking Nuremberg, but they were just allowed to go on the stand, wax poetically, and fucking lie the whole time, talking about how they were under hypnosis by Hitler. Because guess what? Hitler already killed himself at that point. He's not on fucking trial. He isn't going to fucking provide any of his testimony. So guess what? All the other fucking Nazis they had testify and talk about it were just like allowed to just kind of like gallivant about and be like, woohoo, look at me. I'm telling my fancy, stupid little fucking lies. And that's what they did. The whole time, they just fucking lied. They lied. And they kept lying. And guess what? They all ended up getting fucking hanged. One of them, I think, was acquitted, I believe. One was acquitted. I think 2 of them went to jail. And the rest of them were hanged. I think it was like about 22 of them, right? 19 hanged, 2 thrown in jail. 1 was fucking acquitted, which is insane to say, but whatever. The sort of like consequences of, I don't know, like liberal justice within the court system, showing its sort of flaws and problems immediately. And a lot of people, after reflecting upon and talking about fucking Nuremberg, when they were polled on it, they thought the Nuremberg trials were not fair, which is insane, dude. Really shows to you just how, like, just how fucking ineffective the fucking denazification was within fucking Germany. I mean, the AfD exists for a fucking reason, right? It's insane, dude.
I think you're right. We talked earlier about how you've been involved in many combat situations on behalf of the United States. Have you ever seen a situation like you witnessed here in Gaza?
In 25 years of serving in the Army, sir, to include the fight against ISIS, who I would say is a pretty barbaric enemy, never in 25 years have I witnessed or been a part of what I saw in Gaza. The death, the destruction, the injustice, more so the use of escalation of force against an unarmed population of civilians. None of them were armed. They're starving, they're unarmed, they're women, they're children, they're old men, they're handicapped, they're human beings. Never in my entire military career, everywhere I've been, in situations from low intensity to high intensity, have I ever witnessed the barbaric use of force against an unarmed civilian population, ever. And I hope I never witness something like that again.
Well, I think your testimony is going to be important to make.
I mean, like, yeah, IDF worse than ISIS. I don't think that's ridiculous to say, right? Like, that's not hyperbole. I think it's pretty safe to say that. Yeah, I do think that the IDF probably worse than ISIS. You know, yeah, you know, I'm okay with making that call.
Make sure that the American people know what's happening. Yes, sir. Know how their tax dollars are being used. And I want to again thank you.
Yeah, you did say it.
Military. Yes, sir. That requires bravery. It also requires courage to come out and talk about something you're witnessing here. Is there anything else that you want to say?
I appreciate your time, sir, and I thank you for your service to our country. And as you said, that's my objective in this, is to inform the American people of what the truth is.
Yep.
I have no agenda in this. I'm not in this for some greater cause. I recently retired from the military, very happy being a stay-at-home dad and making breakfast for my family and taking my son to a school and being a dad. I have no aims or objective in this other than, one, that the American people know the truth. Two, I swore an oath to this country, and that oath didn't get hung up with my uniform on the 1st of March. The Constitution is founded in values. This is not in line with American values, and Americans need to know that, sir.
They do.
They certainly fucking do. Listen, we salute you, Anthony Aguilé, the French nickname, not nickname, last name, whatever. We salute you, sir, and your service in, I don't know about your service in Iraq. You know what I fucking mean. Shut up. Fuck you. I don't know. I really couldn't have said it any better myself. If there is no other thing that happens to the leaders within the IDF, within the fucking Israeli state, besides, God, I don't even know, man. Besides them being thrown into jail, at the very least, thrown into jail with the key fucking thrown away, a complete fucking dismantling of that wretched, awful fucking apartheid state. Like I said before, the only solution to this is a multinational coalition of countries from around the world under the UN occupying the country and forcing integration. You want to fucking solve this? That's how you fucking solve it. 1950 style reintegration, okay? That's the only way you're going to fucking solve any of this stuff. If you want to stop these miserable fucking wretches within the IDF, within the Israeli state, from stopping them from completely just perpetrating all of these just awful crimes against humanity in the modern fucking Holocaust of our goddamn days, which is just insanity. Yeah, don't tell Tim Pool that I'm supporting interventionist policy. True. Yeah, I'm actually a pro-war leftist. How terrible of me of supporting an interventionist policy. Fuck you, Tim Pool. Whatever. I don't think there's really much else to say besides fuck the IDF, fuck the United States for being complicit in this shit, fuck Trump for, being like, I'm okay with this because, I don't like the Palestinians. I hate brown people, and I just want my resort town within Gaza, folks, which means we have to either just murder all of them and just bulldoze Gaza and fucking rebuild it as my Trump Gaza #1. And just fuck all these, stupid, limp-wristed, stupid, dumb fucking Republicans and fucking Democrats who are complicit Zionists in the modern fucking Holocaust of our fucking time. Don't think there's really much else to say besides that.